Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you'd like to know more about my knitwear designs, please check in the description below, and there you'll find a link to my Ravelry designer page where you can find all the patterns I have available for you to purchase and knit up for yourself. Also in the description below you will find a link to the Watch Barbara Knit's Facebook group where we'd love to have you join and continue having conversations about the subjects that I bring up and talk about here. Now, I didn't want Thursday to go by without a video uploaded, but I am still in a considerable state of flux. We don't have our furniture yet. As you can see, nothing much has changed behind me because I don't have any of my bookshelves. I don't have a lot of my equipment. I've been sitting in those, those bag chairs that you have a bag and you take the chair out and you can take it on like a camping trip or something. That's what we've been sitting on in our living room. We have a television from my mother, so we've been sitting on bag chairs in my living room watching TV in the evenings. I'm sitting on a porch chair right now. Things are a little chaotic. I have several instructional videos that I've been wanting to make for y'all, but I don't have all of my setup to make them nice. And I tried a couple of different things that were cobbled together, and honestly, it just doesn't look good. And I would rather wait and put out good videos than put out substandard videos, right? Just to get videos out. So I wanted to say hi. We were supposed to get our furniture today at noon. It did not happen, but we do believe that tomorrow at 8 a.m. things will be happening. So hopefully, we're going to have a whole lot of mess. This will look a lot crazier next time you see it. And hopefully I will be able to get some instructional videos and some more interesting combination of videos as opposed to ones that are just me talking to you. I have already done the Rafflecopter drawing and sent out emails to the winners. So if you have not received an email from me, I'm sorry you were not selected, but I will be getting, I believe, 2 new packages next month, so make sure to watch for that video. I don't want to announce the winners just yet because I haven't heard back from both of them, and I don't like to mention anyone's name on the interwebs without permission. I always ask, do you want me to use your handle, or do you have a Ravelry name, or what have you? So before I know the answer to that question, I don't want to announce it, but I will tell you that I lost a little bit of sleep about trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I asked both winners if they could tell me which of the packages they would prefer, if they want the artisan crate or if they want the original crate. Now, best case scenario, one of the winners says one and the winner says the other, and everybody gets what they want. If that doesn't happen, if they both choose the same one, then I have come up with a plan. Here's my plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the boxes and I'm going to seal them. And then I'm going to make the address labels. And then I'm going to give the boxes and the address labels to my husband. Or my son. I'm going to have someone else do the deed, and they're going to say, okay, this label goes with this box and this label goes with this box, and then I'll tape them down and I will ship them off. And that way, I'm pretty excited. It will be totally random and not even I will know who's getting what. So I decided that's my system, and if I continue any month that I have 2 boxes I'm opening, that is going to be the system going forward. You're going to be able to let me know which one you would prefer, but if y'all both pick the same thing, then we're just going to go with I can blame my husband. So that is my plan. You guys probably saw, this is Onoclia. This is my newest release. It is the lace on the top pattern. There was a pattern tour video for it. I have really been thrilled with the response to it. I'm so glad y'all like it. It was super fun to knit, and I can't wait to see what colors and how y'all choose to knit it up. And that is the first, if you remember, my first video here, I showed you 3 different skeins of yarn that I was like, which one of these should I start with? And I started with that one. And I wanted to let you know that I have been working on a second shawl, and that is how much of the skein is left. Tiny, tiny. This is Anzula. There we go. Anzula Silken. This is a relatively new base for them. It is 50% superwash merino and 50% Tussa silk, which it's got not quite as hot or warm as a feeling when you're knitting it. It slides through their hands real well. But what I'm really looking forward to is seeing how it blocks, because silk tends to block out. It doesn't have the memory that wool does. So it should block out really nicely. But I was going to try to block it, but I didn't want to have to pick out a section of floor and block it and then have movers be like, we need to walk here. And then I got to take it all up. So I haven't been able to block the shawl yet, but this is the colorway Lapis. And I want to show you. So this is how much I have left, this tiny bit. I could have gone more. I could have pushed it a little bit more, but yarn chicken. And so this is the next shawl. Now, it is unblocked, and as I just explained, the silk, I anticipate that this is going to block out fairly well, so we're going to have to check it out, but it's another lace on top. Again, this one starts in this top point, and this is also, if you've looked at many of my patterns, this is highly unusual for me. It is garter stitch. I only used 1 skein. So this is definitely a shawlette. It's a smaller piece. I thought for the summer that would be good. And also it would be good to see how big of a piece you could get out of 1 skein. This is 370 yards. So it's even a small skein for fingering weight. And as I said, I used a whole bunch of that skein. But I was able to do that because of the way this design worked out. So the first 40 or so rows, so this lace beginning is written out. So it's 40 rows. And then starting where the garter starts, and then the rest of the shawl, it is literally 2 rows. 2 rows of instructions. So it's row 1, row 2, and then row 1, row 2, then row 1, row 2, and you just do it over and over and over again. So that way you can knit until you've run out of the yarn almost. You need to be able to do one final row, just knit, and then bind off. So I stopped. I still probably could have squeaked out 1 more repeat, but it's one of those. So this is a tiny one, but if you had 2 skeins, it could be that much bigger. And I'm going to do a pattern tour for this, so you'll probably hear all this again, but it will be with the block shawl. So I'm super excited about this. This one has double yarn overs. You can see the way the lace on this one looks. It's going to be more open, and I'm really curious to see how it blocks out. I don't know how aggressively I'm going to block the garter. It's super smooshy. I'm very excited about this, and it will be blocking soon. Let's toss her up here, which leaves me with these skeins that still need to have something done with them. I'm really leaning toward the red one next, but the blue one makes me very happy too. So I'm gonna come on to the next one. Love to hear below what you guys think of this exploration into lace framing around the neck, if I should keep on pursuing it. I'm gonna say right now that I probably am, because my brain is firing on all cylinders in this subject, but I'd love to hear if you guys think, yay, that's an exciting idea. But I will also say this is also out and on my desk, so I have been thinking very mosaic-y. And the other thing I have been thinking a lot of, I don't know if I can find it because I had it out earlier. Did I put it back? Ah, I did. I am considering doing some stranded. Now, I, to date, have not published a stranded knitting pattern. What do y'all think? Are y'all ready for a little bit of stranded? I'm thinking starting easy on myself and doing a stranded fingerless mitts. This is an amazing, there is a, I did a book look on this so y'all can see it. It is an amazing stitch dictionary. So both of these are high on my list. Now, in case you don't know, this is stranded, this is mosaic. The difference between these two styles of color work is that with stranded, you carry both strands of yarn along every row. So every stitch could be one color or the other. It has a lot more flexibility, and you can pick out what colors go where, and you're working with both colors every row. In mosaic, you're knitting 2 row around stripes, and the color work's created by slipping stitches. So you're not carrying the yarn along the row, you're only working with one strand of yarn at a time. So this I call sort of cheater version of this. It's a little bit more restricted, but sometimes I find that restriction pushes you into some very interesting solutions. But I'm very excited about this too, so we'll try both. Finally, something I wanted to show you. We have, for the last month or so, been working on my In the Library with the Candlestick knit along, and I will put a link in the description below. If you go to the Ravelry group and see, so many people have finished absolutely beautiful versions of this shawl. I am so excited. I cannot believe the wonderful color choices and the beautiful knitting, and it just makes my soul so full to see all of this beautiful work and these beautiful shawls that people are making. There are people who've knit 2 of them. It's so exciting. I wanted to show y'all. This is going to be the first time it's been revealed. This is the mystery. This is the solution. So it is a boomerang shaped shawl. I'm kind of into these if y'all hadn't noticed. And it featured the mosaic lace. This is in Anzula. Oh my goodness, I will put the name of it. It starts with an L. It just completely went out of my brain. The picture, I will write it right here, the Anzula yarn. The thing about this Anzula yarn is it's sparkly, which is almost impossible to photograph. It's super frustrating, but it is gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. And the way that the mystery worked is at the beginning, you got a setup, which is just this tiny little bit right here. And then it was broken down into 4 clues. Your first clue was this vertically striped mesh, which I absolutely adore. I could knit an entire shawl out of this. It has a really interesting, I love the vertical stripes. So then you do your vertical stripes, and then you get some rest in horizontal stripes. Clue number 2, we upped the game a little bit in a different mosaic pattern. Now this mosaic pattern, this is the first time anyone has seen it, is in this shawl. I made it up for this shawl. And so it got to a little bit more complexity. And then after you got this finished, you get a little bit of rest in some stripes. And then the third clue was another different mosaic lace pattern. You can see it, there we go. And you can see it, and you can see it has the vertical stripes and the V shapes. So this, we go back a little bit, you can see my vertical stripes. And then this has these V shapes. And then this has vertical stripes and V shapes. And then you got some more resting stripies. And then the final panel, the last clue, was this. And you got this beautiful, I call it pyramids and diamonds, because if you look at it when you're knitting it, you're looking at it this way. So you can see you've got those little pyramid shapes and you've got the little diamonds in between. And again, and it's super funny because there are people who said that they thought that this was the easiest pattern. But I think what it was is that my plan came together. The idea was to start everyone off with one that just explains the basic concept of mosaic lace. And then this one's just knit 2 together, yarn over and slip. This one you brought back in slip, slip, knit. This you kind of combine the 2 concepts, and then this we just kind of went all out. And by the time people got to this end, I think that they were really used to it and they found that it was fairly easy. So let me hold this up. Sometimes I move things around too much. So there you go. You can see what that one looks like. and that one, and that one, and then the vertical stripes. So I'm so excited. I'm going to post the pictures of these on the pattern page tomorrow. So if anyone had been on the fence about whether or not they wanted to do the mystery knit along because they weren't too sure about the mystery part of it, this is what it looks like. Now, I believe there are people in the mystery knit along who chose to do it in fingering weight. And what's going to happen is you're going to run out of pattern before you run out of yarn. But this final lace, you can repeat as many times as you want. You just keep on going, and then you'll have a big lace panel. And if you go to the thread, you can see some people who repeated it a couple more times and it just looks gorgeous. There are some people that then added some more of the vertical stripes. You can play with it. Once you understand the process, you can sort of finagle with it a bit. So that is in the library with the candlestick. It is no longer a mystery. So that is, it's kind of been a little bit of a shawl fest here, but when is it ever not a shawl fest here? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it the thumb up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.